Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? I'm doing well, and I have my good friend Danielle here. How are you doing today, Danielle?
I am very good. Thank you so much for having me on this series. And it's funny because I was actually wondering, when's he going to get around to asking me?
Well, there's so many people out there. It's like, if you are interested in doing the series, just be patient. I'm sure I'll get around to asking you. But
Right.
anyways, you can find Danielle. Let's just go through the logistics here real quick. Danielle is Stitcherista on YouTube as well as Instagram.
Right.
Am I missing anything? No.
No, it's just those two.
Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. So Stitcherista, everything will be linked below as well as captions on the screen. So fun. We've been having a grand old time talking here for the last, 45 minutes. So we've already chatted about everything we're going to be chatting about. So we're going to be rehashing through everything. And it's, I think it's going to be a good episode. So, so Danielle has been on YouTube for going on 2 years now, right?
July 18th is 2 years.
July 18th of 2018 is 2 years.
Yes.
So, and then you've been stitching for much longer. So let's do a rewind here and let's go back to the beginning. And how long have you been stitching? How did you learn to stitch?
Okay.
Who taught you? All that good stuff.
I have been stitching since I was in 6th grade. So how old are you in 6th grade? 10, 11?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm 44. So 33 years I've been stitching. My friend taught me. A friend in school, and she was doing it, and I was like, hey, what's that? And it didn't really catch on right then. I mean, 10 or 11, the attention span.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading. I was doing other stuff. And then I kind of left it alone because the materials that you could get, department store, a Ben Franklin, everything was a kit, everything was Ada, everything was not like it is now. So fast forward to when I'm in college. Now, I know I've told this story on my channel as well. I put myself through college. I worked a full-time job and went to school full-time. So didn't really have any time for any crafts. But my grandparents were having their 30th, like a big wedding anniversary, and I wanted to stitch something for them. So I went to the store and bought a kit, and when I say it was only like 5 by 8, and it took me like 6 months to do it, because I was just, when I think, and she still has it. I wish I would have like gotten it so I could show it. She still has it, and she actually has the very first thing that I ever stitched, which was a magnet for her refrigerator, where the technique, oh my God. I thought that doing the back stitch first would be helpful because it would outline the piece and then I could just fill it in. That is a hot mess. Like if I ever get to show that on my channel, oh my God. So get through college. I'm married to my first husband, and I really got back into stitching then. But really gung-ho, Mirabilia, lavender and lace, not until I want to say 2002 or 2003. So gung-ho hardcore the last 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So that magnet that magnet that you stitched for your grandmother, is that the one that your friend taught you? That's the first one? No. Okay.
No, it was like, that was probably the second thing that I forget what I stitched. I don't even know where that is. So literally, you're right. Literally the first thing I stitched is not that. So this was like the second thing I did.
But like you don't remember what that first project was?
No, it had to have been something really small though, because yeah, no, I don't remember that. But yeah, this magnet was the first thing that I stitched and finished and gave to someone. And of course, your grandparents, she's over the moon. Oh, it's so good. It is nasty. Like it's like this angel, and it says like junk food junkie or junk food something. It is horrible looking. It's horrible. And I mean, it's on her refrigerator still today. So that is what, 30 years old? Yeah, I mean, it is, but I'm going to, when they pass and we clean out the house and all of that, I'm getting that stuff back because that is a relic.
Well, you better get that back. That's your first fully finished object.
Before I even knew what that meant, before I even knew what that term was. Yeah.
Okay, so then you got back into stitching in early 2000s, like hardcore stitching. And then ever since then, you've pretty much been stitching ever since.
Yes, and it's funny how, at least for me, the way or the things I've liked to stitch evolve. Meaning, in the very beginning, I stitched solely Mirabilia, lavender, and lace. Each one would take me 3 to 4 months. I did bang, 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 bang. I mean, in my dining room, I have 7 of the Mirabilia mermaids that I stitched for my husband, one after the other, after the other, after the other. I don't know how I did that, because now when I think about doing that, my head hurts. And, you know, it's evolved from doing that to then stitching, you know, discovering Little House Needleworks, Country Cottage Needleworks, you know, all of those other designers that weren't out at that time or weren't as popular at that time. And before FlossTube and YouTube and all of that, no one in my family stitches. It was just me. I had a blog. That's how I met Jill. That's how I also met Vanna. I've known Vanna for 10 years, well before YouTube and FlossTube. And that was such a big, I don't know if I want to say big, but it was popular. Blogs were popular, and that was the way to share your stitching. So it just evolved into, I have stitched so many things, like, and I should have maybe recorded the other way so you guys could just see. I mean, my walls of my office all around here, the walls are covered. I'm literally almost out of wall space.
Well, that's why you can go to her channel if you haven't already, which many of you probably already watch her channel and see her walls and everything that she does stitch. So
yeah.
But okay, so you talked about your evolution of stitching, and within your so let's get then to, how did you get into YouTube, or how did you want to get onto YouTube?
Oh, that's such a good story. Okay, Jill's baby shower. I was at her baby shower. So now her son is almost 2. His birthday is in August. Her baby shower was on July 18th, 2016. So I drove there, and it was a good hour and a half because she lives in Pennsylvania. And we're sitting there, and she was giving me a piece of fabric because I was actually going to start Aphrodite Mermaid, and I didn't have the right kind of fabric. So we're talking about that, and she says, something, FlossTube. And I said, what? What's that? And she said, oh my. She said, I'm not going to say anything else. Go home, put it into YouTube, and then, you know, text me. I came home that night, and I think the first one that came up was Coffee Stitcher, Garrette. I almost fell on the floor. I was floored that there were people out there doing these videos, and I immediately texted her and I said, oh my God, we have to do a video. We got to do it. I did a video the next day. And my first one, hot mess. Like, I think everyone's first one is, I felt awkward, and I must have tried 8 times to record it. But once I got through that first one, I had a whole list of stuff I wanted to talk about, and I thought, I can only do a video once a week because that's what everybody else is doing. And yeah, that's how I got started, and it just took off from there. I mean, I have over 350 videos, and I'm pretty comfortable behind the camera now. And yeah, I mean, 2 years. I mean, that I would have never thought that, first of all, I would have the subscribers that I do, all of the love and support that I've received on my channel, and just all of the friendships. I mean, you and just so many other people that I would have never met if not for YouTube.
So, and we're going to continue talking about the word evolve. The word that's going to be like the word of the episode is evolve. So both of our channels have gone through this massive massive might be over exaggeration, but you know, a large evolution in the last, because we've both been on roughly, I'm working on 2 years, you're just around 2 years now. So, and through that time, we've both gone through this evolutionary process, and along with that, your stitching has also evolved. So through those 2 years, you've as you've seen through your videos. So, and with that came a lot of life events, and we don't have to get into the life events because you can go and watch those on your channel. So, but can you talk a little bit about how your life events help to change and evolve your channel, and what has helped motivate you to change your channel to what it is now?
Okay, that's a really good question. Now, obviously, everyone who has seen even one of my videos knows that last year I had breast cancer and went through that treatment, and I'm all good now, so that's good. But that really, when I shared that, I think so many people just related to how honest I was about everything I was going through. I received tons of gifts and cards and all kinds of stuff. And so that also helped propel me to want to do videos, to want to give back to people that have given me so much. And not even just in the way of gifts, just in emails, letters, messages, all kinds of stuff. I've done a lot of giveaways on my channel because I'm a huge proponent of paying it forward. So, yeah, I mean, when I think about it, I have done a video. There's been a video on my channel every day since last October. Think about, that's like 8 months. When I think about that, I'm astounded that I've been able to put out that kind of content. And really what started me doing that many videos was people wanted to know how to do this, how to do that. And I thought, I know how to do backstitch. I know how to do beading. Why not put the tutorials out there to teach people? And then that just builds off, each video just started to build off of another one. I would get a question in there. Okay, well, there's another video. There's another video. And it just went on from that. Yeah, I mean, it just, and like we had talked about before we actually started filming this, everything I've done on my channel has been organic, has been natural. Nothing has ever been forced. I don't believe in that. So every single thing that's come about has been because I'm sitting downstairs and I see something on TV and it said, oh, I can do a video about that. Or someone wants to know how a product works. Love doing the product reviews because I think I'm one of the most honest people on YouTube as far as a product review, meaning I like to not ever use the product before I film.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have the true reaction. There are many times they're a hot mess. Mistake, something is messed up, I don't like it. Yeah, I try to be very fluid and just let things happen as they're going to happen. There's going to be a point in time, though, down the road, and I know I've said this so many times, where I don't have a video every day. But I don't know. Ever since when I started diamond painting, wow, that exploded, like a ton of videos, you know, just on that. But yeah, I think eventually down the road, there may be a point where I don't have a video every day. But yeah, I mean, I hope that answered the question. That question is kind of difficult, like how.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But so then, that answered part of the question. So then,
Okay.
how has your stitching evolved as a result of the channel? Do you stitch more? Do you stitch less? Obviously, now with diamond painting, you stitch a lot less because
I've been stitching a lot less.
But let's go back to prior to diamond painting.
Yeah, I was stitching more. I was stitching literally every single night because, especially when I started doing the vlogs, for the longest time I didn't do those. I would sit down and do the weekly video, and I just had piles of stuff I had bought, piles. And it got to be really overwhelming, where it was taking me so long to set up, to film, to put everything away. And I thought, you know, there are a couple people out there that did the vlogs and said, I'm going to try it. I love that way, because that way I can sit down every morning for 5 or 10 minutes and film a clip and put away whatever I'm talking about. But I also wanted to have something to show as in progress. So I was stitching every single night, every night. So I was stitching more than I had ever probably stitched prior. Yeah. Because when I say that it's not forced, but you want to give back to your viewers. You want to be able to give decent content and have stuff to show. So that was a proponent of me stitching more. I wanted something to show. Yeah, I stitched a lot more and finished stuff. I mean, then I started having the finishing videos for my canvas finishes and framing. I mean, this year, when I look at my finishes, I think I finished 30 things this year so far. Last year I finished 4. So it has exploded as far as now. A lot of those were small, you know, the jab code kits or frosted pumpkin stitchery, little things, you know, stuff like that. But huge, huge increase in what I was stitching, in the amount I was stitching. Yeah.
And then also, so then have you also seen, obviously, you in your videos, you've also talked about an evolution of what you like to stitch with. So obviously you've gone back to Ada.
Yes.
So can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, and you know, it's funny because, boy, have I tried every single type of fabric that's out there besides 46 count. No, 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 no. I've gone through it though. I mean, years ago, I stitched on 35 and 40 count. I did. As I've gotten older and my work time has increased, my eyes just can't do it. I can't do it. And up until just, a couple months ago, I was stitching on 28 count Lugana. Joglin used to be my favorite fabric. And then I went to linen. And then I got tired of the slubs. And I've made holes in my fabric from trying to cut them out. Huge tip. Don't try to cut them out. Don't do it. You will make a mistake. You will cut a hole in your fabric. And then the hand-dyed fabric. And then just, yeah, what happened, I mean, I wear glasses, but my eyes, I can see without my glasses on. But at the end of a day, which is when I stitch now, my eyes are tired. So I was having trouble focusing on even 28 count fabric. And I thought, I have to be able to enjoy this. And I had a piece of Ada, I think I had gotten in a kit or something. And I sat down and I went to stitch on and I said, oh, I can see it. It is so much easier. So, and you know, I'm to the extremes. Like everybody that's watched my channel knows that I am just usually all one way or all another way. So I sold all of my fabric in one big, huge lot on eBay and was able to then buy a whole bunch of Ada. And that's what I've been stitching on. It's been a couple of months now. And I think Ada gets a bad rap in our community, to be honest. A lot of people feel that they shouldn't be stitching on it, that it's for kids. And when I showed in my video that I went back to Ada, I had so many people say, thank you for making it okay to stitch on Ada. And I said, there's no cross-stitch police. You'd have to do what you want to do, what is going to bring enjoyment to you. Because just like we talked about earlier, as an adult, it's a grind. You do a lot of stuff that you don't want to do, but if you want to be responsible, you have to do. Your craft, your hobby needs to be something that you love. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's so true, because there's so many people that think you have to graduate out of Ada.
Right, exactly. That's a really good way to put it. Right.
And that you have to move on to linen and even weave, or even weave and linen. And
you don't.
You don't, you know. And I just like not too long ago, my mom was on one of my videos, and she had just bought a kit to get back into cross stitch.
Okay.
Many, many years of not doing it. And she's like, oh, but it's only 14 count. And I'm like, that's
What?
fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. My Snowy Owl is on 14 count Ada. You know, London that I'm stitching is on 18 count Ada. There's nothing wrong.
And that owl is gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The pieces still look amazing. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. But yeah, it has to be enjoyable is what it really boils down to.
Yeah,
I have to be able to see it.
Because it's a hobby. So why, you know, just like the backs of projects, they don't have to be perfectly pretty to, you know, to make it an enjoyable hobby.
The only thing about the back of a project is just got to be careful of carrying so you don't see the thread through the front.
Exactly.
Who cares what the back's going to look like? Nobody ever sees the back of it. Who's looking at the back of it? I never really understood that. Like I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I can kind of understand back in the day whenever, you know, young girls and children were learning, and maybe that was just a way to teach etiquette and proper responsibility. I don't, you know, but like,
right.
Like bringing it into the 21st century, it's like, really?
Yeah, no, I don't know. And
there are different schools of thought, and there's no reason why, if you want to have a perfectly clean back, there's nothing wrong with that. We are not judging that or belittling that, or, you know, I personally carry things. If I have a dark fabric, which I prefer to work on, I carry everything. I don't care because I don't have the time or the patience to stop and, you know, cut something off and restart. And and maybe that's why I'm a fast stitcher, because I want to get stuff done. Because
I'll carry as far as I can. Yeah, I'll carry as much as I can. Absolutely. If it's not going to hinder what the piece looks like on the front, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on then. So you've been on for a while now. You are one of pretty prolific in your videos. So what kind of advice would you give to somebody who wants to get into YouTube or FlossTube, but hasn't because they're either anxious or they don't feel like they have something to provide something unique to provide to the community?
I think everyone who even wants to everyone who's a stitcher has something to contribute to this community. So don't be afraid to start a channel and do it. And that's the great thing about our community, is that there are so many different people that if you don't like someone, there is going to be someone out there that you will like, because I fully realize I am not everyone's cup of tea. And yeah, I mean, and I'm trying to think of how to word this. Well, like we talked about earlier too, you have to let yourself and your channel be fluid, meaning if you want to try something different, like knitting or crochet or diamond painting or whatever, do it. Because what I have found with the diamond painting, because I'll be honest, I really thought I was going to start losing subscribers or people that wanted to watch my channel. But I received so much feedback that what it comes down to as far as starting a channel is putting yourself out there. If people, I'm trying to think. People come to your channel ultimately for you, not because you're showing a huge haul, which people sometimes hate that, by the way, or showing your stitching. It is you. It is how you are, your personality. But there is always someone who is going to want to watch someone's video. I mean, think about when I actually started 2 years ago, there weren't that many people doing FlossTube. It has exploded. Everyone seems like they're doing a video now. But the biggest piece of advice, just do it. Don't be afraid. Yeah. But make sure you try to look into the camera. And I'm still guilty of that even 350 videos later. you know, I'm looking off here, I'm doing, because it's natural to do that. You know, it's hard to make sure you're looking right into the camera lens when you want to look at yourself, but no.
Yeah, I don't usually look at the camera lens often. I mean, I do, but I've been getting better, but I don't. And I admit it on the video, and it is what it is. But I'm often usually, whenever I'm talking, like right now, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm thinking.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know, when I'm thinking,
Right.
it's like I'm looking off into, like,
Yeah.
I'm deep in thought as I'm talking. So it's like I'm not even focusing on anything because I'm so engrossed in my thinking. And like right now I'm looking at you because I'm having a conversation with you. So, you know,
Yeah.
I get that where you know, you want to look at the camera, and I do agree, you want to look towards the camera.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I was going to say something else about.
My biggest thing is hold the thing up long enough so whenever I'm stitching, I have a chance to stop where I'm at, have a chance to look up.
Yeah, no, that's good. That is a good tip. Yes, you're right. Because sometimes people will show something and then they put it right back down, and I'm like, dang it, I got to go back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's a good tip. There's so much. Like, I'm trying to think of other. Make sure we can hear you. And in what I've started doing, because believe it or not, I still have people say, like, when I record my Paint With Me or Stitch With Me videos, that they can't hear me. Well, first of all, you know, it's in front of me.
Yeah.
It's a different recording than when I do my vlog. So and I don't know if it's every program, but I know in Windows Movie Maker, you can increase the volume. I've started to do that.
And that's what I do as well.
I'm hoping that has helped that. Because if you can't hear someone, they're not going to watch your video. They're not going to do it because it's just going to be too difficult. But I know a lot of people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, we're not saying these to scare you away.
Oh, no.
We're just, these are, you know, little tips and tricks to maybe help increase viewers, or, you know, to give you some advice that, you know, make your first one less anxious.
Because there are a lot of people that do have anxiety about being behind the camera or putting themselves out there on the internet. That gets easier. It gets a whole lot easier. And there are some people that have messaged me that want to start a channel, and I'm going to be honest, I like the awkward. I like the weirdos. I like people because you can relate to it. I can relate to that. Because in my normal life, I feel awkward, socially awkward. I hate going to parties. I hate stuff like that. So when I see someone who kind of stumbles in a video or makes a mistake or whatever, that's endearing to me. I like it because it's not manufactured, or it's real. It's real. That is the biggest thing. Be real in your videos. Be natural. It's okay if you cuss. Sometimes, or your dog barks, or your baby cries, or whatever. It's okay. It's all okay, in my opinion.
Well, we have so much fake stuff on TV that we can go and watch any other time. This is our way of getting real life, seeing real people in the moment doing stuff that we get to see, because we don't have other people in our personal lives that do the same thing that we do.
Right.
So I think that's what's so, you know, I think so many people are looking for that real interaction, even though it's not an interaction, but at least it can feel like an interaction, because we don't have that true real life interaction.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
So, do you have anything else you want to add?
I'm trying to think about doing videos. I guess one thing too is don't feel pressure to do it, meaning, and I know I've been guilty of it, you know, as my channel started to grow a little bit, I almost felt pressure to do more videos or try to come up with other topics. And I thought, as soon as that channel, or because if you get a negative comment and someone doesn't like something, don't stop doing that on your channel. Just because one person doesn't like it. Because as soon as it starts to become like that or become work, I'm going to be stopping my channel.
Yeah.
Because this is something that's supposed to be fun and a way to connect with like-minded people. And yeah, as soon as it becomes you trying to do stuff just for your viewers, no, it has to be for you ultimately. And really, when I think about it, I'm really glad if I had to be diagnosed with something like breast cancer, it was in the time that it was, because I have an entire recording of the whole journey that I probably normally wouldn't otherwise have, but in my head. I mean, not that it's not difficult to go back and watch some of those videos, because it is, because some of them were really, I was just going through a really difficult period. But it's a good way, 20, 30 years down the road, let's hope YouTube is still out there, that I will be able to go back and see that and see how far I've also come, you know, and getting through it and getting 6,300 subscribers. And, you know, yeah, I mean, there are people on YouTube, which I don't know, I forget the one person. She has like 18 million. Can you imagine having 18 million subscribers? I could quit. I could quit my job. That would be my job. That's always been a dream. I would love my channel to be my job, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Not in our community. I don't think there's enough people. I don't think there's enough people that do needlework that would subscribe to be able to pay my bills.
Yeah, I don't think, not at this time in our society, you know,
No.
unless there's some grand, you know, epiphany of people out there that realize that, you know, some like enlightenment awakening of, you know, crafting is the way to go in society or something. But, you know, let's make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll never understand people saying that cross stitch is a dying art. Where is it dying?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. You know, it's a small art, but I don't think it's dying at all. And it kills me whenever you go into Joann's or Hobby Lobby and they're making the sections smaller, because it's like, if anything, I think the craft is growing.
Yes.
Especially with Etsy and all of these online retailers. So why are the box stores decreasing? Are available?
I don't know. Now, do you think that some of the retailers like Witcheld or something, or those kind of people, they will not sell to big box stores? Like, I don't know the ins and outs of that.
I don't know. Well, I think one of the things is kits are not as popular as,
right.
And that's primarily what they have are kits.
Right.
I like kits just because that's more of my style of stitching.
Sure.
I find the patterns that I enjoy are in kits that I have to order from other countries because we can't easily get them here in the States.
Right.
That's just,
yeah, you're right.
my personal preference.
The kits are not as popular as being able to just buy a pattern and then pick out all your own stuff, fabric, floss, all of it. Yeah, definitely. I just think I don't think they'd be able to have the volume, maybe. Like, they wouldn't be able to imagine if they, let's say like Michael's, let's say they really took it upon themselves to increase their section, it would be half the store. When you think about everything that's out there, if you go to a local needlework store, there's no way that they could offer everything.
Well, yeah, if they offered all of that kind of stuff, but then you have to divide it by how many Michaels they have, and I just don't think they have the amount of volume of business for that.
Right.
That's
no, they probably don't.
But even just like with the fabric selections that they have and stuff, you know, even if they're decreasing what they have, which is a shame. And even with those kits, they're decreasing, and that's an easy way for new beginners.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
to
go out and try it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because I've even had people comment on some of my videos and say, hey, I want to get into it. what can I get? What can I get to start? And I'm surely not directing them to a big box store. I'm directing them to one of the online stores and say, get a beginner kit, because most people have those online.
Yeah.
Or even Etsy, you're right. Just go get a small pattern that's $2 or $3. Get a piece of Ada. Yeah, I mean, the internet came out when I was a senior in college. What the internet has brought to this community is astounding. I mean, imagine what we wouldn't have access to if we didn't have the internet. We'd have to have a brick and mortar store, which I'm very thankful I do only 20 minutes down the road, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people are forced, they have to order stuff online. And it's a huge, I mean, huge competition out there as far as online stores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last question then. Where do you see your channel going in the future?
Oh, that's a good one.
What would you like to see your channel in the near future, and then, you know, long-term goals?
I would say, because I've come to love the diamond painting so much, I would hope that my channel would stay diamond painting and cross stitch. I don't know if I would ever be dabbling in some other craft, but I'm not ever going, never say never, because there was a time where I didn't think I'd ever be doing diamond painting. I was like, no, can't do something else. I just hope I can always bring good content and enjoy my channel. And I would love, I mean, I set a goal at the beginning of this year to have 8,000 subscribers by December, because I started with 4,000. I'm well on my way to that. I mean, I've increased pretty good just in the 6 months of this year. I'd love to have 10. I mean, we all would love to have as many subscribers as we possibly could. I don't know. I just want to just keep enjoying it. Just enjoy just what you say in your videos, creating. And that's what it comes down to too. I think I'm always, until I physically cannot, I'm always going to be creating in one way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And the diamond painting is a great way to do that. Stitching obviously is a fantastic way to do that. I hope my channel is successful, just keeps being successful. That's the biggest thing. I don't know. That's a really good question. You ask good questions. Good stuff. That's hard to really sit here and answer, but yeah, I hope I can help people, teach people something. You know, it feels pretty good, and I'm sure you've had this too, where something that you have done or showed on your channel has helped somebody else. Because a lot of people are alone and don't have anybody else in their life that will either support them in doing needlework or diamond painting or whatever, or they just have nobody else to talk to about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are people that messaged me and said, I inspire them. That I have a hard time, I mean, because I think, oh, I'm just little old me behind the camera. I'm one person. But I think we also don't realize how much of an impact we truly do have in this community. So that's another good thing about doing a video. You don't know, by you sharing something, how much that could help somebody else or change somebody else's life.
Yeah.
That's another reason to do a channel, to do FlossTube, is you don't know who you're going to be helping or where it can go. Because if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be at the point that I'm at now with my channel, I would have never believed it. When I started to get subscribers and I hit 100, I was floored. I was astounded. I said, oh my God, I had 100 subscribers. And yeah, I mean, it's been probably one of the best things that's come across in my life these past 2 years. Seriously.
Same with me. And the teacher in me is like, if I can touch, if I can help one person, just
that's
like
what
my students, even if I can just get one goal achieved for each of my students, that's successful for me. So if I can just touch, you know, help one person by making one of my videos, or like one of my videos, each of my videos affect one person in some way, then
Right.
my goal has been achieved.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and,
Absolutely.
that is lofty, talk, but that's how I look at it, because, I do it for enjoyment, but at the
Right.
same time, I might be inspiring to somebody, or somebody might, and I have had many people come up to me or ask me questions or say, hey, I love watching your channel. Can you help me with this? Because I've never done this before, and I have. And
Right.
I'm more than willing to, reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook Messenger or my email and say, hey, I have a question. And I'm more than happy to answer those questions if I haven't already answered them on my videos first.
Right.
So, I'm more than willing to be there and help you, or just be a sounding board if you have to talk through things to make it more clear for you, because I've had to do that. And I've luckily had people there to let me do that.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Now let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you been in public and had someone that has watched your channel that you don't talk to on a regular basis come up to you and say, oh my God, I love your channel. I watch you all the time?
No.
No, you haven't?
Not yet.
Okay. I only say that because, and I know if people watch my video about our woodlawn visit, I had someone do that. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. And this is I'm not trying to sound like pompous, but now I kind of know on a tiny, tiny scale what movie stars must feel like when people that watch their movies come up to them on the streets of New York City or whatever and be like, can I take a picture? I mean, this woman flipped out when she saw me screaming in this museum, this needlework.
But you were at Woodlawn, so you were at a place where.
Yes, I was. Yes. Yeah, I wasn't like at Walmart.
I mean, I was at a retreat. I've had that at the retreat, but people knew I was going there, that watched me and everything. So, I mean, but I don't count that because.
Now, but let me ask you, how have you handled it? Because I never get used to it. I always feel like I am so awkward when someone comes up to me, like at the FlossTuber retreat in New Jersey. Many, many people watch my channel that I had never met in person. Not that I've talked to on Facebook or whatever. I mean, I've never said one word to these people.
Yeah.
And when they come up, all I say is, thank you for watching my channel. I don't know what to say. I always feel like I didn't react properly.
Yeah, I'm the same way, because I'm socially awkward as well. And until I get to know somebody, I don't like talking to people. So I'm just, I probably don't react the right way.
I always feel like my reaction, like my face gets red. I'm almost embarrassed. And so I was just curious how you handled that. And I wanted to ask other people the same thing. Yeah, I always feel so awkward when someone says that.
Yeah. No, I haven't had that yet. So other than at the retreat, but I don't count that. So. Because I was kind of ready for that to happen. Okay. Because of the channel. Right. Yeah. So, I was prepared. Not that I wanted it to happen, but I was prepared. Right. So I have not had somebody just on the street yet. I will have to ask my brother though to see if he's had somebody mistake him for me.
Oh, that's a good question.
I never even thought about that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So. Yes,
because
not that we look alike, but a lot of people think that we do.
Yeah, you do.
We don't think we do, but
Oh yeah, when I saw the one video that you did with him where I just saw the still that you did.
Yeah.
And said, oh my God, they look exactly alike. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So. Okay, well, thank you for coming on to the show today.
Thank you so much. I loved it. I love this series that you do. It is so awesome to watch the interaction with all of these different people. It was genius. Your idea was just genius for this. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. And we will definitely have Danielle back, because I have some fun things planned ahead. So definitely go, if you haven't already, but I'm sure everyone has already, go check Danielle out on her channel. Follow her on Instagram. They're both Stitcherista. They will be linked below. And give her some love. So thank you all again. And we will be back again in 2 weeks for another wonderful episode. And we'll see you again. And don't forget to always
be creative. Or be creating. Do you say be creating?
I say be creative.
Be creative. Yeah.
Be creative. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.